Hello everyone and welcome back to SliverStar Arcade and more, the great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I just wanted to show this off because, it's kind of cool that, it'll take us right into the action. Yes, I believe this was the save that we were on. In the last episode, we, found out that the, detective got beat up for our sake, or the inspector, I mean. Sherlock Holmes has presented us with a great bit of evidence that the pages of the book here were completely, well, I guess the book's gone now, but they were completely blank, which is odd because usually someone writes, nothing to report in there. But in this instance, they were completely blank. And now, the big burly Russian is gone, so we can finally explore this cabin. Miss Pavlovas' cabin. This could be our chance. What? The burly sailor doesn't appear to be around at the moment. Wait, just gotta adjust my audio. We could investigate every last inch of that cabin. I'm not sure if we could go that far. But we could certainly do with looking around more. I'm sure we could learn something. Alright, let's move on in then. Oh, the friend appears to have vanished. 9th January, SS Beria, first class cabin number 2. Oh, Miss Pavlov isn't back yet, but she has clothes in there now. Soda-san, oh, where's she gone? Yeah, she's inspecting. Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. There's not a moment to waste, Naruto-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right. For Kazuma's sake. I feel like I'm talking different today. Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? You trust me? Wow, that's new. We must solve this case, Naruto-san. By ourselves if we have to. Yes, we will. Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah. Now, I don't know much about Hong Kong or its policies, let alone back then. For all we know, they could just take the Russians at their word, and we'd be sentenced to death, like, immediately. Alright. Yes, they're displayed in this cabin too. Look, the SS Buri's rule of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. I suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I mean. I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. It's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine. I just hope Seaman Strongnov doesn't find it and throw it overboard. Oh, yes, so do I. The bookcase. All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one. Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door, in Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase? I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright, so I can't believe it took me this long, but through something completely unrelated, that is the word ballet, not ballot. Apparently the T is silent. English makes no sense whatsoever. Unless that's not an English word. In which case, it would make even less sense. Like, English is an atrocity of a language. Alright then. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? Not everything bad that happens on the ship is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Once again, you're tampering with the crime scene. Why'd you leave a gap? Like... Oh my! Miss Pavlova's case is open! It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there. Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? Observe the desk. There are just a few books on the desk, nothing else by the looks of it. Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading... books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruto-san. Kindly remember that. Okay, let's check this basket. I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruto-san, it's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know? Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly, we have no choice. Oh, so is it just... there's hardly anything in here at all. Oh, so this is the same as last time. Oh, well, that's a little disappointing. Yeah, why is this plate on the floor? I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately. Oh, why does recording make me yawn? I'm not tired. Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What? A leak? Is this ship quite safe? Yes. I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Oh, coat hangers. I didn't notice those before. It would seem this teapot is empty. So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are a very thirsty people. Or because Ms. Pavlova only came into this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it. You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Nahoda-san? What? We can't check the giant duffel bag in the corner? Alright, I know we're supposed to check the clothes, but I want to check all the non-obvious. So this ventilator connects to Cosmo's cabin next door. Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Maybe it's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm? Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That is a possibility. Anyway, last night Cosmo wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. Yeah, so I found out that the speckled band is not unique to this game. Apparently it's from the actual Sherlock story, and I found that out because once again, Sherlock Holmes appeared in Murdoch Mysteries. Which I'm not even really watching, I'm just watching it whenever someone I know is watching it. And I sit in on the episode. So apparently it's a real Sherlock Holmes book. You learn something new every day. Oh. Ah, what's that? Oh no. Shut down the engines immediately. Vessel sighted a quarter-mile 4. Full stop. Hard to starboard. All hands brace for impact. Oh, we didn't get to explore everything. What the? I think we're about to crash into another ship. What? Oh no. I can't stand Sisasan. Hold on to me. Sasoda-san, are you alright? Are you injured at all? I think I'm fine. Thank you, Naruto-san. It looks like we avoided a collision. I think... Yes, the ship has come to a stop. Oh my goodness, what about you, Naruto-san? Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. Hello, is anybody in there? Shout if you need assistance. Oh, that sounds like... Inspector Osanaga. Is that you in there, Naruto-san? Unbolt the door, quickly! What? The bolt? Look at that! So whatever ship I keep calling her the princess, but she's a ballerina. So whatever ship the ballerina came on, because that's the only way she could have gone on last night, crashed into a ship, sealing the door, and then the snake she brought on, because I'm guaranteed it's a snake, like I'm 100% certain it's a snake, snuck through the grate. Look at that. The door's bolted. Did you do that, Sasoda-san? No, I didn't touch it. Well, that's strange. How did... And look at all the books. They're just like they were before again. Naruto-san, aren't you going to open the door and let the inspector in? I'd better tidy this place up first. Wow, he's going to be waiting for a while. Our violent emergency stop had solved one mystery at least, in a very vivid way. But I knew that what awaited us on the other side of the cabin door would not be pleasant. I hurried around, tidying up the cabin with a new sense of foreboding in my heart. Oh no. Ah, come on, really? We were that close to a to be continued? And it would have made the next episode perfectly 1 hour long. Because I stopped at like 45 minutes. Yeah, that annoys me to like no end. Alright, yep. Let's save. So something interesting I noticed. If you go to like back here, it's obviously a picture of Ryonosuke. But when we get to the speckled band, the silhouette turns to that of Herlock Sholmes. January 9th, SS Maria, Miss Pavlov's cabin. Somehow, the door to the cabin we were in ended up bolted after we made an emergency stop. Sasoda-san took a deep breath. They gently slid back the bolt. Oh no. You! What you doing in Miss Pavlova's quarters? Ah, you both look unhurt. Good. The slight head turn from Osanaga. Yes, we're fine, thank you. What on earth happened? We heard something about how we were going to collide with another ship? Yes, it appears to have been a false report though. Oh, how did that happen? There's a dense fog outside, so it's extremely difficult to see. Someone must have thought they saw a ship ahead. That person obviously triggered the alarm, and that's why we made an emergency stop. Everything is chaos. Passengers are screaming, crew are running everywhere. This first class area is the only quiet part of the ship at the moment. Oh, I see. Someone triggered the alarm. Does that mean that someone pressed that button outside? Ah, you wicked intruder. Dressed all in black, you are the devil. Sorry, me? I've been called a lot of things before, but devil is a first. You opened my traveling case. How could you? What? No, no. We didn't touch it. That's right, Miss Pavlova. It was already open when we came into your cabin. Inspector! Oh, yes? So she knows? Arrest this man. I know he did it. He is a criminal. It is not enough that he has killed a man.
Duh, and he a stowaway as well. If Vixen promises not to steal chicken, do you believe?
That's... What's going on with his face? Are those sun marks? Or like, why has he got like a strip of going across his face? Ugh. Take him away. He is a trespasser as well as everything else.
Stowing away, trespassing, killing. She is right. You are devil.
It doesn't look good, does it?
There is cell below deck. Throw him in. Tomorrow we dock in Hong Kong. Then we give you straight to police.
Wait, a cell? Please, Inspector Osanaga, is there nothing you can do? This is a Russian vessel. I really have no jurisdiction here. After my last effort to appeal to the captain's good nature, I think I'm out of options. This is terrible. This is a real crisis. I've got to find a solution. Immediately. I'm gonna save just in the off chance that there is only a limited number of things we can investigate. Or if we can investigate at all. Because, oh, everything has once again become new. I just need to keep calm and focus on the task at hand, which is investigating. Don't touch my things!
You want me to show you where your crawfish hibernates?
Here! Oh, God. Ms. Naruto, what do you think you're doing? What do you think you're doing? Wow, everyone's attacking me. And I was just starting to think she was my friend. Hey, you cannot lump Mr. Hosanaga in there. Isn't there anyone who can help me out of this mess? Miss Pavlova, can I get out? Listen, I'm sorry that we snuck in here without your permission, but get out now. We just need to investigate in here to help understand what happened to... I don't know what that means. Ugh, it's no use. She's not going to listen. I need to find someone who will. I wonder what happens if you play this game in Russian. Like, do you just understand it, or is it changed to a different nationality? Please, just give me a little more time.
I do nothing for you. Except show you a way to ship's prison cell.
Ugh, thanks, but no thanks. But I'm innocent, I didn't kill anyone.
And trespassing? And stowing away?
Well, you know, sometimes life can lead you down some unusual avenues, and, well...
Enough, you are guilty. Ship's cell is only place fit for you.
Come on, there has to be someone. Some savior to rescue me from this crisis. Once Osanaga can't help us out, Herlock Sholmes will burst into the door. That's what I'm been. You've got yourself into a difficult situation here. Oh, wait, 1 second. Alright, we're back. You got yourself into a difficult situation here. By entering this cabin uninvited, I mean. Sorry, I was just so desperate to find a clue. I'm afraid there's really nothing more I can do to help you. If I push my luck any further, a punch to the face will be the least of my worries. I'm really sorry. I have to take responsibility for giving you the freedom to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin. Now this has happened. I'll have to report to the captain at once. I just unplugged you. Why are you... report to the captain at once. I really need some help here. I need a savior to rescue me from this crisis. You know, I I really shouldn't be surprised. What the? What are you doing up there? Mr. Sholmes! What? He's got the tiara. Naturally, I was analyzing what a weight of 20,000 ruples feels like on one's head. Have I not told you that I, as a detective, it is my business to know what other people do not? This isn't merely tomfoolery, my boy. Oh, no, no. Well, why are you hanging from the hook before then? Isn't it obvious? To properly assess the weight of 20,000 rubles, naturally. I wish to determine if it would bend the conceited looking hook on the wall, so full of brag and bounce. Dude, he's doing the rolling fists. Oh, who was the guy who did the rolling fist in Punch-Out? Was it Mad Bull? Or something Bull, whatever that guy was? Yeah, was he the one who, like, did the rolling fists? Ugh, I never know whether to take this man seriously or not. Ah, you again, the great detective. Ah, Inspector, I confess I've been looking for you. I have something to report to you most urgently. Well, you might try looking for me somewhere other than a hook on the wall next time.
What is to report? Speak!
An urgent report from a great detective can mean but one thing. Yes, the case of the curious murder that took place last night, here on this vessel, the steamship Buria, has been solved. By me, naturally. What? Really? It hasn't. Honestly. Yes, I have eliminated all other possibilities. No other explanations exist. So, allow me to illuminate all your minds. For I am about to reveal my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case.
Ha! You have solved it? Even Hedgehog understands this case. We all know who was responsible for killing Student Boy this morning, when we found criminal in wardrobe. It is the stowaway, and he has handcuffs to prove it.
I didn't do it! The trouble is, there doesn't appear to be anyone else who could have killed the victim. Because as everyone knows, the cabin door was bolted shut from the inside. That means the culprit must be someone who is inside the cabin. Yes, it's what's called a locked room mystery in detective stories.
Duh! Locked room, that is point.
The room was locked. Well, I can't deny that. There's no way the bolt could have been drawn across from outside the cabin. You are all quite mistaken. The cabin next door is not a so-called locked room at all. What? Oh yes, there is another entrance. An entrance used last night by the culprit in order to gain access to the cabin, despite the bolted door. What other entrance? We never discovered one. It's the one I've been saying since episode 1. Why, it gapes open mouth at you even as we speak. You would think it'd be a lot easier to get a quiet house. Why, it gapes open mouth even as we speak.
The ventilator man. The ventilator. You think this is funny? I cannot even put my arm through that hole.
That's because your arms are as thick as tree trunks. You're suggesting that the culprit entered and left the victim's cabin through that tiny opening?
It's not possible.
Ah, but it is. And last night, the victim even witnessed the intruder in the act of passing through the ventilator. I mean, she is tiny. But I still think it was the snake. Mr. Sholmes, do you mean... Are you referring to the words Kazuma-sama wrote in his diary? 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. That's still distracting me. I don't know what that is. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Precisely, my dear madam. But what does it mean? What is this speckled band? The answer to that particular conundrum is in this very cabin. Actually, I think it left. Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing? There is a distinct element of danger, but fear not, I am ready. What I'm about to expose for all of you will shock you to your cores. Behold! God, what the... I knew it! Allow me to introduce you all to the band. The Speckled Band. New... A snake? Indubitably. That's a nice touch. When hers goes off, the dots are a higher pitch than Osanaga's, implying that, you know, male and female, you know, higher and lower octaves of sound when their voices are spoken. That's a nice detail. See, you can hear it there again. Mr. Sholmes, just one thing. Pray, what troubles you? Well, that snake isn't really speckled, is it? It looks more stripy, wouldn't you say? Hmm? Yes, you're right. I think in this case, you'd have to call it the striped band, wouldn't you? What, was it wearing the tiara? You both see and observe with distinction, however. Do you not think that is precisely the trap into which the culprit wishes you to fall? Oh my goodness, really? It's a trap? How exactly? I think perhaps it is time that I explain the intricacies of my train of thought. Are you ready, Miss Pavlova? I'm sorry for the young man who died, but that is all. His death has nothing to do with me. The whole thing has nothing to do with me. There are two conclusions I have drawn from the facts. Number one, last night, your friend infiltrated the victim's cabin. Ah! And number two, that same friend was responsible for the victim losing his life. No. She's turned white as a bowl of rice again. Really? That's a bowl of rice. Alright. Sholmes must be right. He's hit the nail on the head. This young woman's friend killed Mr. Osogi? It looks like he can't speak with that snake coiled around his head. I would advise as little movement as possible, Seaman. You wouldn't want the fangs of that long friend in your neck. So everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his logic and reasoning spectacular. I think because of this, we're going to have a lot more of Herlock Sholmes in the future. Intruder's identity. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death is nothing to do with me. The whole thing is nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's crime. So, we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel with, was it not? Ah, as expected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhing serpent we see before us. And yet, the fact leaves me in a quandary. The victim's written observations on the night in question tell of a speckled band. Whereas, regrettably, this specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give, pray? What was this sign that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? Whoa, what'd she just hide? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have to answer this quandary even now, hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's slogged skin. Evidently, after the subtle and horrible crime, this most deadly friend of yours shed its original skin, no? I don't know what you're talking about. Last night, through the ventilator visible in this cabin, your then speckled friend slithered next door. Using the bell cord on the other side as a bridge, the serpent silently descended into the victim's quarters. In the dim light, it appeared to the young gentleman who was about to lose his life as a speckled band. But his back was to the... In summary, the nature of this friend of yours, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a rare breed of snake whose markings change each time it slogs its skin. A snake so dreadful we can only imagine it would be found in the deepest depths of India. Intruder's identity, a beloved speckled snake. How Mr. Asogi died. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter, the grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear that there were no visible signs of injury. In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. Now, if we were to take that as a fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could that be? Yes, an examination of the deceased body will prove the cause of death conclusively. The almost, but not quite, impectoral puncture wounds left by the venomous fangs will seal the truth. Yes, the visage of the snake bite delivered by your terrifying friend. This makes no sense. There is no point feigning ignorance, Miss Pavlova. After the incident, you endeavored to hide everything, didn't you? But now, your involuntary glances betray the hiding place you chose. That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. When we first met in this cabin, it came to my attention that your case moved periodically. Your serpent assassin was restless inside, no doubt. You don't... It is telling that the victim made note of a low whistling sound that he heard minutes before his end. That was your signal, was it not? The sound you had used to train your serpent friend. To... train? Indeed, you'd put the serpent through the ventilator and wait. After a period, you'd summon it back with a whistle. You couldn't know if the animal had done its duty, so you would listen for signs of life next door. If the victim appeared to have not been dispatched, you'd release the snake once more. Do you deny this snake's undergone such training? It's not true. Having slithered through the ventilator and down the bell cord, the creature needed only to sink its fangs in once. And its venom would course through the victim's veins, ending his existence forever. That is the true nature of the speckled band that took the poor man's life. There can be no doubt my logic is infallible. Death by a venomous snake's bite. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of the speckled band. So I've been trying to do something where I'll just look at my computer screen, and that way I won't talk faster than the actual images you guys see. But I feel like it's been leaving a few spots. Miss Pavlova has trained her pet snake as a killing machine. There on the floor you will observe a saucer of milk. The promise of food is the key to training any creature. Incredible! You've solved the mystery! Amazing! Your great deduction really lives up to its name. I see now why Herlock Sholmes has become such a household name. My dear man, it was nothing remarkable. As the Russians say, I could have done it with one left hand. Could I venture an opinion, Mr. Sholmes? But of course, what's on your mind? It's just about your deductions before. Some things don't quite make sense to me. I welcome questions as to my method, and will answer both loudly and proudly. Oh, well, good. First of all, snakes are egg-laying creatures, part of the reptile family. You are well informed, madame. And reptiles, don't drink milk. Ah. It's really only mammals that like to drink milk, you see. So, I'm not sure it would be possible to train a snake using milk as a reward. No matter. No doubt Miss Pavlova used some other treat to encourage her pet to do her bidding. Milk was merely an example. The logic holds. Well, there is something else. Snakes have no ears. Ah. What? Yeah, they do. They're like on the outside, the little thumbs. Yes, so I'm not sure it would really be possible to signal a snake by whistling. Yeah, snakes have ears. But madame, what of the tales from Arabia? Have you not heard of the snakes that dance to the sounds of a flute? I think perhaps the performers play their music in time with the snake's natural movements. Oh, I see. No hands, no feet, no ears? These creatures are so inept as to be practically useless. Don't take it out on the snakes, Mr. Sholmes. There is one other thing. You have more? Snakes use the scales on their bellies to propel themselves. So, I'm not really sure that a snake could manage to climb up a flat bell cord like one of these and like the ones in these cabins. Then it should try harder! Please, don't be angry with me, Mr. Sholmes. The point is, even if the snake had gone through the ventilator to the next door cabin, it couldn't have come back without help. What I'm trying to say is that there are a number of reasons why it's difficult to imagine the snake could have had a part in this. This is my only chance at being innocent. Why are you doing this? I think we need to step in and help again, Mr. Naruto. Oh no, you don't mean... Yes, we need to modify Mr. Sholmes' latest deductions and turn them into the great ones they ought to be. I had a feeling that was coming. Alright, let's give it a try. Just what I was waiting for. Mr. Naruto. Yes, right. So, cast your eyes down on your wrists again. What? You've done it again. Your handcuffs are gone. Where did they go? Fear not. I shall see they are restored after our work is done. I really wish you'd leave them off. Now, everyone, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Miss Pavlova, moments ago you claimed the following. His death has nothing to do with me. This whole thing has nothing to do with me. Yet you cannot deceive yourself. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, your aching heart smarts with pain. She does have a pained expression on her face. Yes, that's true. She looks as though Kazuma-san's death is weighing heavily on her mind. But you're not sure Mr. Sholmes has read her quite correctly, is that it? Could there be some other way to interpret her expression then? Let's take a moment. And really look close at Miss Pavlova. She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh? What's that? There's something dangling from her ear. Ah, that's an earring! The crescent moon part looks as though it's made from wood. Really? It's charming, isn't it? Women do seem to love adornments like that. In their hair, around their necks, on their fingers, and even hanging from their ears, it seems. Well, jewelry is beautiful, Naruto-san. She has such petite ears among that beautiful hair, like little pink shells. Oh, what's that? There's something attached to her ear. Ah, I expect that's what's called an earring. It's a little piece of jewelry. An earring, is it? It really is tiny. Perhaps part of it is missing. Maybe it broke off. So now all that's left is the clasp part that attaches to the ear. If that's the case, she doesn't appear to have noticed that it's broken. Oh! Yeah, so the snake couldn't have caused that. Alright, so here's something crazy. So in the episode Murdoch Mysteries where they had Sherlock Holmes, you know, a kid questioned about the speckled band, saying like there is no snake like that in India or whatever. And so he said that it's a like skink or something like that, something that's snake-like in appearance but like has 4 legs. And I'm wondering, now I know this is a long shot because Murdoch Mystery is like completely unrelated from this game, but I wonder if there's something like that, like maybe another creature from India that is snake-like but actually has claws. Oh, Naruto-san, look! That looks like a very painful wound. It looks like a scratch made by some kind of small animal. And fairly recently, too. Well, whatever scratched her doesn't appear to be around anymore.
Yes!
That claw scratch. Yes, when you recall those horrid events, that claw scratch smarts with pain. Indeed, and simple observation reveals that the wound is fresh. Miss Pavlova, did you in fact receive that scratch sometime last night? Ah! When I think about the young man who died next door, I feel so sad. And when I am sad, the pain from this wound is worse. And it is that very pain that evidences your inextricable link to the victim's death. So we ask, what was the nature of this intruder that stole into the victim's cabin on that portentous night? Why, naturally, it was the friend with which you boarded this vessel with, was it not? Ah. As I suspected, another telltale glance. Without doubt, your friend is the writhen serpent we see before us. It seems likely that the scratch mark on the back of Miss Pavlova's hand was made by this friend of hers, doesn't it? Except, snakes don't have claws, do they? No, they don't. They don't even have hands or feet of which claws might grow. Well then. If that snake isn't her pet, what is? What's the true identity of this friend of hers? We should follow her gaze, Naruto-san. That's where we'll find the answer. Okay, like I know it's the photographed frame, but I kind of want to like just observe everything. Seaman Strongnov! There's no doubt, is there? She looked in this direction. Straight at Seaman Strongnov. Well, they do seem to be friends of sorts. He's the pet. But I can't imagine how he could possibly fit through that ventilator. Don't forget that I managed to fit inside Cosmo's trunk when we first boarded this ship. I would ask what that proves, but I think an equivocal little smile would be more effective. Writhen serpents. Can I examine the teapot? I have a feeling. that it was this teapot that Miss Pavlova's eyes flickered over to before. You think this is the friend she's been talking about? Well, we're all different, aren't we? Whatever we might say about it, if that's the way she feels. I don't think I'll say anything about it then. You and the teapot can discuss it instead. Wait, that's not what I meant. But yeah, no, it's this. Ah, look at that photograph in this frame. This must be something Miss Pavlova brought with her when she ran away. She is exceptionally beautiful, isn't she? Yes, that's true. But personally, it's the little black creature that she's holding that's caught my eye. Maybe I'd better take a closer look at this. That must be a stage costume she's wearing. It's quite stunning. I should like to have something like that. And she's wearing the 20,000 rubles on her head as well. Look. It's called a tiara, Naruto-san. And you shouldn't think of it purely in terms of its value. She must be a strong-willed woman. To turn her back on the world stage and run all on her own. Little kitten. Look at the little cat Miss Pavlova is cuddling here. Oh, what a cute little kitten. It could vie with you, couldn't it, Naruto-san? For the blackest outfit? A black kitten. And from the looks of this picture, at least, Miss Pavlova seems very attached to it.
Yes!
So where'd the snake come from? Without doubt, your friend is the little kitten we see before us. Yes, the scratch on the back of your hand makes that abundantly clear. Oh no. The whereabouts of this black kitten isn't clear. What is clear is that you brought the animal with you when you ran away, didn't you? Darka is my best friend. Darka? Alright. I couldn't leave her behind. Darka would appear to be a Russian blue. And yet, that fact leaves us in a quandary. The victim's writhing observations on the night in question tell us of a speckled band. Whereas regrettably, don't tell me the cat was eaten by a snake. This specimen's markings do not fit that description in any way. What explanation can we give then, pray? What was this sign that fell upon the victim's eyes last night? No, don't look at me. This has nothing to do with any of this. Oh, but it does. You have the answer to this quandary, even now hidden behind your back. Yes, that which you are trying, but failing to conceal, can only be the snake's soft skin. Did you see that? She just took something out of her pocket and hid it behind her back. You should have left it in your pocket. If she just left it in her pocket, no one would have even known. Oh yes, ploys like that are Mr. Sholmes' specialty. He so cleverly forced her to reveal something. I thought deduction was his specialty. Or maybe making me believe that was a ploy too? Anyway, I find it hard to believe that that's the skin of a snake. In which case, just what is Miss Pavlova hiding behind her back? Well, it is speckled, and it is a band, but what is it? It seems to be a soft and fluffy, a long piece of cloth of some sort. It's for playing with a cat. And that looks like a handle at one end. I think this may be a cat's toy. That sort is common in the West, apparently. How is that a toy for cats? Cats like to chase the band around and paw it. Kittens in particular love that sort of play. You only need to wave in front of them, and they pounce to catch it. That sounds positively adorable. Anything else? This is a weird angle, like it's focused on like around her neck, but so yeah.
Yes!
Yes! Yes! No, whoops, spike the mic. The thing you are trying, but failing to conceal is, a cat's toy. Precisely, and the true nature of the now infamous speckled band. Ah! And it was this toy that you dangled through the ventilator. You waved it around, I presume. Naturally, the victim could not fail to notice it. But why? For what reason? My dear boy, there can only be one answer to that. After her feline friend disappeared through the ventilator into the neighboring cabin, Miss Pavlova attempted to use a speckled cat's toy to incite the creature to return. Ah. In summary, the nature of this... Ugh, I can't stop yawning. It's getting annoying. It's like hiccups. It won't go away. In summary, the nature of this friend of Miss Pavlova's, which last night infiltrated the scene of the crime, is a blithesome Russian blue breed of cat by the name of Darka. Gah! A truly troublesome feline, young Darka has proven to be. She must be caged once found. You will forgive us for borrowing that photograph of your pet, Miss Pavlova. The photograph of Miss Pavlova and Darka has been entered into the court record. It was after I gave her food last night. That's when it happened. She scratched the back of my hand and then ran up the bell cord. Before I could do anything, she had disappeared through the ventilator. Then someone, Strongnov, probably came down because the bell was rang. You said my cat is missing, so he stopped the boat, which led to the bolts closing the door in the other cabin. Darka, she is so naughty. A beloved kitten. So a snake couldn't have possibly made it through, but a kitten could? Yep, sure. Alright, yeah, let's go with that logic. Moving on, we come to the heart of the matter. The grim demise of the victim. How did this young man lose his life, and why? According to the data of which I have been apprised, it would appear that there were no visible signs of injury. Ah! In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by a terrible venom. What Mr. Sholmes says is true. There were no signs of a wound anywhere on Kozma-san's body. That's right. But Mr. Sholmes seems to be unaware of one very important detail. Kazuma wasn't poisoned. Yes, it would seem so. Let's give him the information he's missing now. Which one is that? Is that this? Yeah, post-mortem.
Yes!
Yes! In fact, the circumstances of the victim's death can only be explained by the post-mortem report. Ah, yes, I knew it was one or the other. His neck was... Indeed. The break-in of the cervical vertebrae is fatal. Only that Goliath would be strong enough to survive that. Seeming strong enough isn't some immortal freak, you know. Hey, we finally got this sprite. Haven't seen that. Have we seen that before? Oh no. The jury is out. Anyway, we have on good authority that the victim's neck was broken. Now, if we take that as fact, we can reasonably imagine that there remains evidence to affirm it at the scene of the crime. Oh no, could there be? Yes, an examination of the deceased's body will prove the death of the cause of death conclusively. Kazuma died because his neck was broken. In other words, he was probably struck by something or someone. Yes, that's a distinct possibility. As of yet, no weapon has been found though. Presumably, Darka didn't silently creep up behind Kazuma and deal him a fatal blow. I suppose it's possible that he had a fall and hit the ground awkwardly. It could have been a terrible act of misfortune that he broke his neck completely by accident. Oh yes, a bad fall could explain it. It's rather hard to believe of Kazuma-sama though. He wasn't a clumsy man. Well, we need to fix this deduction somehow. Is there anything from the scene that could explain what happened? The mark on the floor, I'd wager.
Yes!
Yes, an examination of the mark on the floor will prove the cause of death conclusively. This particular mark, so prominently visible next to the victim's body, is a deposit of shoe polish. Shoe polish? Indeed, positively identified by a little analysis device I constructed, which I carry now as a matter of course. Beeswax, tallow, and dye were my result, the undeniable ingredients of shoe polish. And the color of the polish is a perfect match for the color of Mr. Asogi's laced leather shoes. Looking at this mark, it's not hard to imagine what happened. For some reason, Mr. Asogi must have caught his foot at that point on the floor and tripped. Please, no. And, by a dreadful turn of misfortune, caught his neck against some immovable object as he fell to the floor. Suffering a fatal blow to the spine, the victim's vertebrae shattered, and in that instant, he lost his life. No! Ugh, I can't do the voice properly. I don't know. I don't know anything about this. Is that really true, Miss Pavlova? What about the evidence left at the scene where Mr. Asogi lost his life? Yes, the facts are as clear as day to me. You did all you could to conceal the incriminating evidence. But now your involuntary glances betray the hiding place you chose. That's right, you hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that traveling case. I don't believe it. Kazuma-sama merely tripped over and now he's no more? It can't be true. I refuse to accept it. I know it's hard to believe, but the mark on the floor does seem to suggest that's what happened. But... Sorry. And if this part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction is right, Miss Pavlova is trying to hide some evidence that would prove it. Here in this cabin, somewhere in the direction that she just cast her eyes. Where, I wonder? Let's have a good look around. The answer must be here somewhere. Now, do we check the waste paper basket? This is a waste paper basket. Perhaps all the first class cabins have them, but Miss Pavlova only started occupying this cabin last night, and presumably there's not much rubbish in there yet. Hey, that wasn't in there before. Oh, what's that? It's a broken piece of glass, isn't it? Yes, it is. And I feel I've seen it somewhere before. If it looks familiar, perhaps it's more than your mind simply playing tricks on you?
Yes!
That's right. You hid the evidence that links you to the victim's death in that waste paper basket. Ah. Here we have a fragment of some intricate glass object, it would seem. One that has a familiar air, in fact. Precisely, we found another piece of broken glass on the floor in Mr. Osagi's cabin. And, as you can see, the two pieces fit together perfectly. Oh no. So, Miss Pavlova, shall we consider what this tells us? Why would it be that part of the glass object, which was evidently broken at the scene of the victim's death, should be found in the waste paper basket in your cabin? Yeah. You're well acquainted with this glass bell, are you not? I don't... Oh, was that supposed to be attached to something? I don't know. I don't know, and that hushed Russian accent of yours won't save you this time, dear girl. Why? Because we have conclusive evidence linking you to the bell in question. What? Her earring. Take it away, Mr. Naruto. Yes. The evidence linking Miss Pavlova and the little glass bell, that would be... Wait a minute. Oh, it's on the cat!
Yes!
If you look at this photograph, you can clearly see, hanging from darkest color, the very glass bell in question. The truth has come up with you, Miss Pavlova. This young man who lost his life last night did so after a truly inauspicious fall. And the cause of that fateful stumble? Your absent feline friend, Darka. I couldn't tell anyone. I'm sorry. Death by tripping over a cat. Now, I trip over cats all the time. Deduction complete. Elementary. Why don't you tell us now, Miss Pavlova? And we will do that in the next episode, because this episode has gone long. So, thank you all so much for watching. And as always, stay safe, have fun, and have a great day.